Hey, I've got a question for you. When you get older, do you want your life to look like this or like this? Like this or like this? I don't ask you this to be overly dramatic, but the shocking truth about menopause is that the hormonal changes that a woman's body goes through during menopause and perimenopause bring an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, broken bones, and yeah, even dementia. But before you panic, there are steps we can take now that'll make a huge difference to what our lifestyle will be like later, especially in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. So in this video, we're going to talk about the top 3 health consequences of menopause and what you can do to avoid them. This is important information you definitely don't want to miss. Now, for some of you, menopause might seem far off in the future, but really no matter how old you are, the truth is it's crucial to know how menopause can dramatically affect your health later in life and how to decrease or even prevent those serious health problems later. Okay, so let's start with the facts. During menopause and perimenopause, a woman's reproductive hormones decrease sharply, resulting in much lower levels of estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so what does that mean? Unfortunately, it means we've got a much higher risk of developing a few health problems down the road, including osteoporosis, heart disease, and cognitive decline. These conditions can obviously have a huge impact on our quality of life, so it's important to be proactive now and start taking steps to prevent them. And the sooner we start, the better. First up, we have osteoporosis. This is a condition where the bones become fragile and brittle, making them more likely to break. The decrease in estrogen during menopause significantly speeds up bone loss and increases your risk of osteoporosis. And according to the National Osteoporosis Foundation, low bone density is one of the most common health problems that postmenopausal women face. In fact, 1 in 2 postmenopausal women will have osteoporosis, and most will suffer a fracture during their lifetime. And as we know, fractures cause pain and make it a lot tougher to get around. I mean, who wants that? But the good news is there are some pretty easy things we can do to decrease those risks of osteoporosis. So keep watching because I'm going to give you those tips in just a minute. The second is heart disease. The American Heart Association reports that it's the leading cause of death in women, with an estimated 44 million women affected in the US alone. This is a serious concern and one that women should really start taking seriously in their 40s, before menopause sets in. Check this out. The reported findings underline the significance of the menopause transition as a time of accelerating cardiovascular disease risk, emphasizing the importance of monitoring women's health during midlife, which is a critical window for implementing strategies to reduce cardiovascular risk. I personally know 2 healthy women who had heart attacks in their late 30s. I don't say that to be alarmist or scare you, but most people have the mistaken notion that heart attacks and strokes only happen to old men over 75 who smoke and are overweight or something. Not true. It's called a silent disease because there are virtually no noticeable symptoms. So no matter how old you are, take steps right now to decrease your risk of cardiovascular disease. I'm about to tell you exactly how to do that, but first, I want to quickly tell you about your brain health at midlife, because that's important too. And finally, there's the issue of cognitive decline. You might not worry about it right now, but a study published in the Journal of Women's Health found that postmenopausal women have a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. Again, this is in large part due to the decrease in estrogen, which directly relates to changes in memory performance and our brain circuitry that regulates memory function. And women with hypertension or diabetes are at an even higher risk for cognitive decline. Now, obviously, having a decent memory and brain performance in general is something we'd like to have in the coming years, so let's hang on to that. Cognitive decline can have a major impact on our quality of life and independence. And I sure as hell want to maintain my independence till the very end, don't you? Okay, so what can we do now to avoid these horrible potential consequences of menopause? Well, the good news is there are several steps we can take to continue living active, vibrant, and healthy lives well into our 80s and beyond. First and foremost, it's important to maintain a healthy lifestyle, including regular exercise and a balanced diet. I know we hear that all the time, but it's really true. Eating right and staying fit, or getting fit in the first place, obviously isn't just about looking great. The reason it's crucial at midlife and beyond, well, at any age, is because consistent exercise and a healthy diet make an enormous difference in keeping your bones, heart, and brain healthy, and reduce the risk of developing osteoporosis, heart disease, and cognitive decline. According to the CDC, we should get a bare minimum minimum of 150 minutes of moderate intensive physical activity each week. If you think about it, that's just half an hour a day, 5 days a week. We can do that. In addition, it's important to make sure you're getting enough calcium and vitamin D in your diet. These nutrients are essential for building and maintaining strong bones. You can get calcium from foods like milk, cheese, and yogurt, and vitamin D from foods like salmon, eggs, and fortified milk. And don't forget to get outside and get a little sunshine, a fantastic source of vitamin D. You might also want to consider taking calcium and vitamin D supplements to help keep your bones strong and healthy. Your doctor might recommend hormone replacement therapy or other treatments to help manage symptoms and reduce your risk of developing certain health problems too. Oh, and by the way, if you're curious about hormone replacement therapy, you can learn a little bit more about that right here. In addition, it's also important to have regular checkups with your doctor to monitor, your blood pressure, cholesterol, and obviously to talk to him or her about any symptoms or health concerns you might have. This can help you stay on top of your physical health and prevent any long-term health problems from developing in the first place. Now, as for brain health, according to Dr. Jill Goldstein, professor of psychiatry and medicine at Harvard Medical School, there are 3 major pillars, actually she mentions 4, for maintaining good memory and brain health. Number 1, effortful physical activity. Yeah, that's not effortless physical activity. She said effortful. 2, effortful cognitive activity. And 3, social contact. Research shows that the first 2 of these, physical and cognitive activity, have direct beneficial effects on the brain. We've already talked about physical activity. Now, cognitive activity means challenging your brain consistently with things like word puzzles, number puzzles, and jigsaw puzzles. Also, learning a new language, maybe learning new computer skills. Basically anything where your brain has to work a little and figure things out. Social contact is another form of keeping our brains active by presenting us with new experiences and ideas and new perspectives that are different from our own, and all sorts of external stimuli. So guess what that means? Traveling to new places and hanging out with your friends is good for your brain. Maybe I'll tell my husband we need to book a trip to Barbados. Our brains need it, right? Dietary habits such as the Mediterranean diet, which includes plenty of omega-3 fatty acids like in fish oil, that also helps memory function. And finally, adequate sleep, at least 7 hours a night, is really critical for brain health. Research has shown that during certain periods of sleep, learning is consolidated. That is, sleep plays a key role in storing and maintaining what we learn during the day. And get this, it even helps in clearing the brain of amyloid plaque, one of the markers of possible Alzheimer's disease. So yeah, let's clear those suckers out of there every night. Most doctors agree that the best time to start incorporating these preventative habits into your life is right now, regardless of your age. So you and I, we all can not just have a long life, but a high quality of life too. Oh, and by the way, if you want to learn more, I've shared the links to some really interesting reports from Harvard Medical School, the American Heart Association, and the International Osteoporosis Foundation. You can find them below in the description. So there you have it, the long-term health consequences of menopause and what you can do to avoid those. And if you have found all this helpful, you're definitely going to want to watch this video next. Thanks so much for being here.